Welcome to the latest installment of the Run to Daylight show. I am your host, Todd Burrows, and today I am going to be doing a live Best Ball Mania draft on Underdog Fantasy. I've already made my first round pick, Jamar Chase. Very interested to see how ADP plays out. So, what I'm going to be doing is a live draft. I did a live FFPC yesterday. I will probably do a video where I go over that draft and kind of all the things that are attached with doing an FFPC best ball draft and how the draft board landed. But I'm very curious to see how the draft board lands um, as Underdog just released Best Ball Mania 5. Very advance to the finals and you max it out, you get your money back at the bare minimum just on that one draft. So very exciting. Most of my action will still be on the FFPC, though. FFPC main event drafts are going now. They are my friends, the FFPC. You can go to myffpc.com. That's myffpc.com and sign up and get into some really great drafts. Those are some of my favorites because you get, they changed it a little bit, but you still have a very good chance of making 300 and a minimum 200 for advancing in the best ball drafts. And you get, with the FFPC, you also get, it could be 200. But go to myffpc.com. They've got every kind of draft imaginable. They've got dynasty drafts, best ball drafts, super flex drafts, main event, try and win $1 million, $2 million contests, myffpc.com. So I am going to take me out of this for the most part so you guys can see. And I'm 2 picks away. For those of you who have watched, let's see, I want to see if there's anyone in here I know. Anyone in the room jumps out at me? No. So I'm up next. I took Jamar Chase over Bijan Robinson. I don't know that I would do that every time, but I did it this time. Boy, there's really nobody out of these names that I love. I know Kyron Williams got dinged. Debo, Nico, no thank you, Olav, Diggs, Neighbors, Evans. So I will scroll down. I mean, there really isn't anyone I love. Oh, boy. All right, I'm going to go with Debo. I don't love it, but I really don't want to take, you know what, I'm going to take Kyron. All right, so I took Kyron. He took a little bit of a hit with Blake Corum being there. It'll be interesting where he ends up. But I like to try and keep my positions kind of even if it's a tiebreaker. And as you can see, there's a lot of wide receivers. I'm 6 picks away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not going to take him. 6. Pittman. I don't hate Derrick Henry. So that is what I'm looking at for my next pick. If you want to jump into the YouTube channel and post a comment, I will answer all my any questions you have. I'll check in every once in a while. I want to save the. How do I show the YouTube? I know how to do this, but invite, no. Present, no. Settings. Well, I guess I'm not going to be viewing this on YouTube. Let's see. View on YouTube. There we go. They changed where that was. I'm going to quickly. All right. Well, I need to make sure I didn't do that. Let me go over here. How many picks away am I? 1 pick away. So Diggs, Neighbors, Waddle, think I'll go Waddle if he's there, and he is. All right, so took Waddle, and now I need to set up 16 picks away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm not taking Tank Dell. 9, 10, 11. Probably won't take Keenan. 12, 13. Not taking Odunze. Cook, I'm not going to take. I would take Rashad White. I definitely would take Trey McBride. Pickens, Mahomes, Cooper. All right, let's see. I think I got enough for sure. So let me just go over here real quick and post where I am. All right. So I did my duty. Now I am back. No questions right now from anyone. But if you have questions on the board, let me know. And I should probably stay here for the whole draft. I forgot to get a new water, so I might disappear for a second. All right. Says 45 people are watching, so if you have a question, let me know. So, a couple guys. Why no Tank Dell? Because there's 3 different wide receivers on a team that might run if they're ahead. So I think his ADP is still too high. Keenan Allen with Odunze there kind of takes both of them out of play for me here. James Cook I could put back in. I'm interested to see where Rashee Rice ends up. I'm definitely not on Zay Flowers in a half PPR format. I don't care how many catches he might have. He just doesn't. He didn't put up a lot of must-have games last year. So we are 7 picks away, and as mentioned, very, very curious to see who will show up. We got to hop on one of these soon. Absolutely, my friend, Mr. Dave Terpoli, who is affiliated with the FFPC. Milton Williams, you're following me, I'm following you back. So that's the way it works. If you follow me while I am doing a live stream, I don't even look at who you are. I will follow you back. It seems like I'm getting a lot more people watching my podcasts. I think it has something to do with where it's being beamed, so more people can see it. So I've been a fantasy football analyst for about 10 years. I made the finals of the FFPC Best Ball Tournament every year that they've had the tournament. The first year, only 12 people made it. Second year, I came in 4th place. Last year, I had 2 teams in the finals. Neither one had a good week, so I did not win money on that site last year, which was not my favorite thing. So, I was going to take Travis Kelce. I wasn't on Rashad White, but I am not afraid of Bucky Irving. So I am going to take a Rashad White. Let's see, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people away. 1, 2, 3. Joe Mixon is there. All right, Rashad White. So would I consider Odunze there? Maybe. Definitely would consider Rashee Rice in the 5th if he misses a couple games. Pickens, yes. Amari Cooper, yes. Mixon, I'm on more than I have been in the past. I guess you have to consider Kincaid and Hollywood. Anthony Richardson, even though I didn't take Pittman. I like McLaurin. I like Kyle Pitts. Nobody else jumps out at me for the next pick. So it's always good to have your queue filled well ahead. You want to know who you're going to take before you come up on the clock. No questions. If you are new and listening to the show, you can find me on Twitter at BestBallNFL. That is at BestBallNFL. My name's Todd. Nice to meet you if you've never seen me before. And I am up next. I think Cooper or Pickens are both good picks. I've got Pittsburgh. I'm going to take Amari Cooper here. Tight ends are going much earlier than they have in the past. I like taking tight ends, but not I like getting my 3 wide receivers. I'm okay not having 2 running backs this early. But now I'll put Odunze in. I'll put Mark Andrews in. I'll put Kirk in. Jaden Reed's not a favorite, but I'll put him in. I'll put Kittle in. I'll put Deontay Johnson in. I'll put Aaron Jones in. Godwin, Ingram, Connor, Bowers. So normally I don't look this far down when I'm doing Joe Burrow because I've got Jamar Chase. So, I mean, he might be the pick if it comes up. Rice. Milton says Rice. Oh, Milton. Milton said Rice. Milton's my new follower on Twitter. I'm a little concerned about the injury, and I'm not. So he might fall more. I'm very interested in him. I think he probably was the best play on the board, Milton. So I don't disagree with you. I didn't take him, but I think that he is certainly in play there. I wanted to take him. I was a little scared, to be honest with you. And not scared of making a huge mistake necessarily, but scared in the sense that his price, this is my first draft of the year. I want to see where he settles after the news. So if in a couple days he was still there and I was drafting, I think I would take him. But the fact that I might be able to get him cheaper on a different team in a week, that was why I did it. I hope that makes sense, and I appreciate the comment. I will keep checking to see if you or anyone else. So you can see I'm 4 away, and I've got 4 in the queue that I like. Obviously, I'm okay actually with any of these 4. I like Kyle Pitts a lot. I like Deontay Johnson. I think in Carolina he's going to get peppered. I've never been a Deontay Johnson guy, but we saw how Bryce kind of honed in on Thielen last year. I think Deontay will be that guy this year. Aaron Jones, I love in Minnesota. He's probably the one I want the least here because I've got 2 running backs already. But clearly Joe Burrow makes the most sense for me. And I like that he's like 7 down, so maybe someone won't think to take him. But I'll check real quick. I mean, if he takes him, it's kind of either to spite me or kind of dumb because he doesn't have Higgins, and he certainly doesn't have Chase. So if I can get Burrow 73, a couple picks early, that only makes sense. I don't have to worry about stacking my number 1 pick anymore. Now I'm 6 picks away. Walker, I would consider Walker. Not going to take Kamara. Consider Godwin. Consider Ingram. Connors, Hopkins. I like Ramondre. I think Ramondre will be going earlier coming up. And let's hope that one of these guys makes it to me. And yeah, I really would. I don't hate DeAndre Hopkins here. No way I'm taking Jackson Smith Enigma this early. Check over to comments. Nothing else. Says 58 guys are watching, or guys and girls. So if you want to jump in the comments and you're able to jump in the comments, I'm doing this one by myself. I really, really like what Underdog did. I'd been pushing for a flatter payout. I had also wanted more money after the week 15. If you advance, that was my only negative. But if you get a team into week 17 and you do 100, you're going to be profitable because you'll advance some other teams. So it all becomes coming up with strategies on how to do that. So right now I've got I like these quarterbacks. I like Dak. I like Love. I love Kyler. But I with Burrow, that it's just not for this team. Aaron Jones is a no-brainer. I had him in my queue for the last. He might go though. Yeah, he went. All right, so I could go Ramondre, get my third quarterback, or Godwin. See, Godwin, both of these guys open up late quarterbacks, but this could be a 2-quarterback team. Godwin or Hopkins. I mean, it's really a toss-up. I will go with the higher rated one. All right. We got a question from Donald Biden. Mr. Donald, I am going to answer that in a second, but I always set my cue first. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll put. Oh, I still don't want Jackson Smith Exigba. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No way out of Nye Mitchell. 13, 14. I've already got one Brown, so getting a second one would not be bad. I'm not taking Ferguson. I had so much Fergie last year. I don't like him here. Javante got some challenge from Estime, but I don't think that'll happen year one. I really like Zamir White. I had a good amount of Zamir White. Caleb Tua for the second pick. He's in play. Goddard, second pick. He's in play. Tajay has fallen far enough. He's in play. So I got plenty of guys. Oh, and Singletary. He didn't get much. Well, we'll get there. All right, let's go back. Donald, I don't know you by that name, but hey, longtime fan. Thoughts on Zeke versus Dallas, and do you like just taking both and trying to lock up the Dallas backfield? I think that is a reasonable play if you think they're not going to add another running back. I think they could. So I don't think I would do that often, but that's good thinking. I do like stack huffing. If they are still the only two, month or two from now, I'll be more interested in it. But for now, I probably would just take chances on one per draft. Good question. Excellent question. All right, 7 picks away. Any other questions while I'm waiting? Milton, Donald, anyone? I like Cortland Sutton. I like Caleb, but he's gone up a lot. I own a lot of Caleb from the first. I got a lot of Caleb from the first time around. The early best ball. I like Chase Brown. I think he's a good pick. I'm a Troy Franklin stan. I think you can say. So just going through. Now, I've got Tampa, Cleveland, Miami. So I really don't feel that I have to have Tua. if there's someone else on the board that and this could turn into a 3 quarterback build if I wait on quarterback. So you got to start thinking, all right, I don't have a tight end yet. I'm not panicking on that. I don't mind going late tight end. I do like Bowers and Goddard for the next pick. I think either of them would be I'm up next. Ramondre's there. That's a no-brainer if he's there. Ramondre in the end of the 8th round. My goodness. That's a no-brainer. I know they're not going to be a great offense, but 8th round Ramondre, half PPR. Sign me up. All right, so we got plenty in the queue for the next pick. Tua, Goddard. So I feel that I think in terms of tiers. I think there's a real tier break after Dallas Goddard. He didn't have a great year last year. He was hurt. Hurts was hurt. I really like Goddard. I would consider Bowers too if he makes it. I would also consider. I like Pollard, but I don't feel the need to take him. I like Lockett. I don't feel the need to take another running back quite yet. So the ones that I moved up to the top are the ones I'm most interested in. All right, Donald. I really like Chase Brown. I think Zach Moss is average and overachieved last year. I lean agreement. And I think Chase Brown has a lot of juice. So what's your downside? If you're taking him a little later, Chase Brown is the guy that might win you $1 million, $1.5 million. Zach Moss is a guy who will help you advance out. So looking at your team depends, I think you want to have both. And I think you could take both. Those two, I think you can take together in a draft. They go late enough. Is Jahan Dotson? Yeah, Dotson's still around. He's going to be around for a while. So good questions again, Donald. All right, I'm up in 3 picks. We see 2 of the guys I really want made it, and Tyler Lockett, I think, is another good pick. I'm okay with any of those 3. Might have to leave. After this pick, I think I'm going to leave and grab my water, which is sitting over there. So I'm going to get Dallas Goddard or Tua. I'm going to take Goddard. I think later quarterbacks, and I could go 3 quarterbacks, but I want a good tight end here. Wide receivers falling off, although I've got a lot of wide receivers I can take. All right, so let me get 15 in the queue. And I know I took Goddard over Ferguson. I don't care. I like Goddard more. I like Ferguson, but maybe I'm prejudiced. But I got so much of him last year so late. It's really hard for me to take him early. Hawkinson is getting on the radar. Jaden Daniels is getting on the radar. I'm not taking Jerry Jeudy. Nope. Now, I'm not going to take Corum in this draft. This draft is based on Kyron Williams doing well. Don't fight against yourself. I do this 2 running backs from the same team in certain situations. I really like Dontavian Wicks. Marshawn Lloyd landed poorly. I had a lot of him in pre-draft best ball. And there's Watson. I don't love Watson, but I've got Cooper. All right, going to get a drink. I'll be right back. Told you my water wasn't far away. 7 picks away. Look for a question. No questions. Uh, Again, if you're a new listener, whatever they're doing, I used to average a lot less than 60 people watching at any given time. So if you're watching me on another site that's affiliated with either YouTube or with Twitter, I won't call it X. Um, Jump in. If you follow me, I will follow you. No one else has jumped in. All right, so we're 5 picks away. So another thing you want to do is, I've got enough for the next round, but let's look 24 down from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, so there's I like Kendra Miller. So there are running backs coming up. Will Levis. Did I draft Tennessee? No, I drafted Godwin. Did Baker Mayfield go in earlier? I'll throw him in. Wilson. So I'm less likely to go running back here. If Tajay falls, it's going to be hard to pass on him. If Jonathan Brooks falls, it's hard to pass on him. Those guys are still at the top. Well, I got Tua. So now I'm done with 2 quarterbacks. I've got Tua and Burrow. Tua 111 ADP. I'm getting him after ADP. I was considering him last time. Tua is the pick. So now what I'll do is I don't even want to tempt myself for a while. I just take quarterback out of the mix. All right. So we've got 2 good quarterbacks with my first 2 wide receivers. I would consider adding a late Bengal or a late Dolphin. So that puts Malik Washington in play. I really want a wide receiver here. But if Brooks or Tajay are there, it's going to be tough to pass on them. TJ Hawkinson, since I have Goddard, then I could go 2 tight ends. And with Hawkinson's injury, I'd need a 3rd tight end. Hawkinson he was going too early in early best ball, but he is now on that guy who for the playoff weeks could, give you a big boost. But not looking at that here. Not with Brooks and Spears and Franklin available and Shakir. I think Troy Franklin, he fell. There goes Jacoby Myers and Shakir. Yeah, I'm going to take Troy Franklin if he makes it. 116, 125. When do I pick next? I don't think Franklin makes it back to me. I like Dontavian Wicks next, but he might not make it back. Yeah, boy, tough decision because I really like Tajay, but I'm going to get a lot of Tajay. I think Troy Franklin could end up being the number 1 in Denver, but screw it. I'm going to take Tajay. So I've got 4 running backs. I only need 1 more. I can really wait to the end. That could come back to bite me in the butt. But I'll put Brandon Cooks in, even though I don't love him this year. Quentin Johnston became interesting since they just don't have anyone. Leggett, he's not my favorite, but I'll put him in. Mooney's a no. Thielen's a no. Roman Wilson, no. So we're going to be going with a lot of wide receivers on this team. We're going to have to make up with volume. Now, my 1st round and my 3rd round picks are wide receivers and my 5th round pick. So if that's enough, it's 2 things that equal your roster construction, right? You want every position to be weighted evenly. Some of them, that weight comes from how many, and some comes from how good. So when you look here, 3 of my first 5 rounds and 4 of my first 7 are wide receivers. So it's not a glaring need. Round 2, round 4, round 8, and round 11 for running back is a really good blend. I got, this is a very well balanced team right now. 7 picks away. I got plenty of guys in the queue. I think Troy Franklin is super interesting. I think Dotson and Wicks. I'm a big Wicks guy. So if Franklin's gone, Wicks will be the target. And again, if you guys have questions, I'm here. Getting dry. Come on, Troy Franklin. I know, and Troy Franklin could drop because he fell to the 4th round, but I heard he had a stomach bug. That's why his combine wasn't very good. I'll take him if he's there. Although I like Dontavian Wicks a lot too. I don't think I can be hurt either way here. And I wouldn't be shocked if a week and a half from now, Wicks is going ahead of Franklin. But when a guy is number 1 on the board, like this guy could actually take Franklin by accident, he's not going to make it. Yep, and he took him. So I will take Dontavian Wicks. I don't mind that at all. So now 2, 4, 5, 1. I can go wide. Let's see. So Freiermuth, Chuba got hurt by Brooks. Lloyd is not a good landing spot. Musgrave is decent. Michael Wilson, Marvin Mims, I could take Mims because I didn't get Franklin. Kendre Miller I like. Roman Wilson, oh boy, don't love him. I do like Wandell, even with them getting the first round rookie. Jalen Polk, I really don't like him there. Still, Malachi Corley, Jermaine Burton, Rashad Bateman. This guy's going to start going a lot earlier. Javon Baker. I won't take him in the 13th, but I will consider him in the 14th. So let's see what comes my way. I know what Donald Biden wants. He wants me to take Jahan Dotson probably. But I am going to take Freiermuth if he's there. Dotson's a good choice too. Let me look over tight end. Yeah, see, tight end really falls off. I do like Juwan Johnson. Conklin's okay. I feel like tight end drops off more than other positions. And I really think Javon Baker's going to make it back to me. All right, so I take Freiermuth. I've now got 2 tight ends. Without knowing your bye weeks, you can get in trouble with only 2 tight ends. And I'm not opposed to adding a 3rd tight end on this team. So we still got a pretty big list. So you see how I kind of do this. I've got all the positions back in. I don't want Baker because I just don't need a 3rd quarterback. I could take one if one falls, like Watson if he fell a round or 2. I like Kendre Miller as a 5th tight end running back. Some of my other favorite running backs, like Estime, had a bad run out. I do like Ray Davis a lot. So with ADP changing, Rico Dowdle is a good choice. When we get later, you'll notice I will go through it positionally to kind of find guys who ADP is gonna rise but hasn't yet. Wide receiver is gonna get narrow quick. But I'll get my sixth. I am pretty sure I'm going wide receiver coming up. And I really don't need a tight end right now. So hopefully you guys get a sense of how I'm doing this. I love Elijah Mitchell. My high take CMAC does not last the entire season. They added Guarendo, and I'm not a huge Guarendo guy, but I am not taking I think Mitchell's going to fall from his ADP because of Guarendo. I want to see where Mitchell lands. I don't hate it, but you know when I really like it? I really like it when I'm picking out of the 2 or 3 spot and I don't get CMC, and then I can get Mitchell to go with, let's say, Tyreek or Lamb. I guess I was 4th. You could do it with Chase too. So yeah, Mitchell's in play here for me, but I'm not going to take him over Ray Davis. But he is a home run shot. But this running back room that I have is, it's good, not great. There's nobody, I feel like I need a contributor more than I need a home run at running back. And this could be a 6 running back team. I don't think it will be, but it could be. Watson's still there, but we're going to take him off. McLaughlin, Gibson, Roschon. It's early for the running backs. I'm going to take Javon Baker. I think his ADP is going to rise into this range. It's a little bit of a reach for now, but I really like Javon Baker, and I think he's going to be the number 1 runner, not Polk. I think Baker outproduces him. I think Polk's going to take a little bit of time, and I know people are going to look at me like, why did you pass on Polk for him? But I did. All right. So Gibson, Algier, none of these guys excite me. Likely doesn't make sense. Roschon makes sense. Elijah Mitchell can make sense, as you mentioned. Corley's going to get the ball, I think, a decent amount. I like Juwan Johnson, but not here. I think Bateman's a good choice to get another wide receiver. Jalen Hyatt, Malik Washington. I like Jalen McMillan, but he's buried to start. I like Tucker Kraft as a late 3rd. Demarcus Robinson, decent choice. With Kyron. I'll explain that theory in another draft. I don't hate Jatavian. I thought he had a good landing spot. Really not looking at all these running backs. Ben Sinnott, Darren Waller is an interesting late flyer. Mingo, Burks, Michael Gallup, Odell. See how bad wide receivers starting to get? So I kind of want to, more interested in Trey Palmer than some of the other. Slayton lost a lot. So we're really getting tight on I could grab Jonnu Smith to go with Tua, but I don't need a tight end yet. It's more about I love I absolutely get the play. I agree with you. And I think there's a place for it, just not this team necessarily. I like him more in 0 running back builds. And then, I'm sorry, after Demarcus Robinson showed out. Oh, man, what did I just do? I got Wandale. I can't complain. I needed another wide receiver, but I talked too much. All right, so another thing I've been doing recently is ESPN. I want to look at the draft. I want to look at it by teams. I know that Cincinnati added another one. I like Iasavis. But they added another wide receiver. Yeah, Jermaine Burton. I think he's gone already. I think Burton's already gone. Yeah, so that hurts Iosovas. Um, but that opens up Gesicki as my third tight end really late. This Eric Ali, I don't know. Anyway, I'm hoping Ray Davis makes it back. I really like Ray Davis. I think he landed really well in Buffalo. Oh, Buffalo. Da-da-da-da-da. Hey, if you guys could subscribe to my YouTube channel, anyone who's listening, it's the Run to Daylight podcast. I'd appreciate that. If I ever try and actually make some better money doing this, having some people attached to that does help. I try and be honest too. These people who just ask you to do stuff and they don't say why. I might want to make money someday. I'm barely making any right now, but you never know, right? Get enough followers. All right. So another good question. I do not mind drafting Daniel Jones. I don't think I need a third quarterback with this team. I think Burrow and I think the lot is set, and I need those two guys. Now, will I take a third? I might, but I'm not even thinking third quarterback at this point unless someone just really jumps out as like being way past ADP. Are we sure Burton will beat out Iosovas? No. I'm not sure. I was not crazy about Burton. I got to go back and look at his tape, but it's enough doubt that it does ding him. There's always going to be busts. That's why I watch tape. So, I can make my own determinations of who I like. Ray Davis went, damn it. All right. Well, that was my fault for getting what do you call it? See, now Elijah Mitchell might make more sense, right? Because I don't have anyone I really like left. Tank Bigsby's okay. So now I want to get my fifth running back. I kind of screwed that up by not getting Ray Davis. Now I'm almost going to do it again. All right, I like Roshan, but I think Elijah Mitchell now makes more sense, and he becomes my home run playoff because I've got 4 good running backs, right? I've invested at the position. Each of the, you got 3 starting running backs and a guy who's going to be in like a 50-50, 60-40 split. Ramondre will probably be 70-30, Rashad White 80-20. And even with Corum there, Kyron should be what I'm drafting him as he's going to be the guy. So with Ray Davis gone, I think he was the next best choice. I doubt highly I go with another running back, not because I don't like a running back, but I just, because I don't like any particular running back that's left. If Roshan somehow makes it, Khalil Herbert somehow makes it, but it gets really thin at running back right now. And people taking Zeke Elliott this early. You know who's really kind of sneaky is Donta Foreman in half PPR. And I do like Israel Abanaconda. So I would consider, I probably won't do Abanaconda because him and Elijah Mitchell are the same kind of thing. They're waiting for. So I'm not gonna. I like Hyatt, but I've already got Wandale. Well, to me, this decision is pretty easy if he makes it. The coach really liked Malik Washington, was pushing for him. They've needed a third wide receiver. If Tyreek goes down, now I've got both the number 1 and 2 wide receivers on Miami. So that's where I talk about tiebreakers a lot. That's the tiebreaker here. So now I'm at 2582. That's 717. I've got one pick left. So I am not going to go wide. I could go wide receiver, tight end. I could go quarterback now. So let's see which one's Wilson, Daniel Jones. It's a stack. I will consider it. Did I get a Denver wide receiver? No. No New England, no Green Bay. All these guys are gone. So I think Daniel Jones gives me a stack, a third quarterback. I don't love it, but he's at least in. I'm leaning tight end more. I think tight end could use help. I think Donta Foreman makes sense as the sixth running back. Bateman as a ninth wide receiver is still there. So let me look at wide receiver. Tyler Boyd, I mean, I don't love him, but he's still there, right? Did I take? I mean, I don't love Tyler Boyd, but is Tyler Boyd still there? I don't know. So what I can do is go to Cincinnati depth chart, wide receiver, Burton, Iosovas, Trent Irwin. Yeah, I don't see Boyd being there. So I'm not taking Tyler Boyd. Fuck that. Excuse my language. Treylon Burks, Gallup, Josh Reynolds, Osborne, Lazard, Tutu, Shark, Rondale. And you really have to go down this early. I'm not taking Iosovas. And I really want to thank you guys for joining me. I think Brendan Rice is interesting. I love Jacob Cowing, but not a great landing spot. All right. So we should have enough people here to Davis Allen, I think, is worth it. Ertz is probably worth it. Dulcich is a favorite. So I'm leaning third tight end. Daniel Jones got taken, so we're not going to go there. Let's see. Last questions, anyone? No? And I think Tucker Kraft is interesting. I think Darren Waller is interesting if you want to talk about home run hitters. Goddard, Freiermuth. Dulcich is really talented. I had so much Dulcich in early best ball. Brendan Rice, who did the? Let's look really quick at the Chargers depth chart. I know that, okay, they got Ladd McConkey and Brandon Rice. I think this team needs a third tight end more. Waller, I mean, getting Waller this late, if he retires, you lose. If he doesn't, but I think I'll get enough Waller at other points. Tucker Kraft's going to be on the field, and so is Dulcich. I'm going to take Tucker Kraft on this one. I have so much Dulcich early. So that's it for this team. We've got Burrow and Tua at wide receiver, Kyron, Rashad White, Ramondre, Tajay, and Elijah Mitchell. 8 running wide receivers. I'm very happy with that. That group. And 3 tight ends. That's going to do it. And I appreciate everyone who checked in. You guys have a good day. I will be doing that FFPC stream coming up, and I definitely want to do some live FFPC drafts. That's my bread and butter. Just to show you real quick, you go to the FFPC, you click in myffpc.com. You can see how many credits I have for best ball teams. I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 27. So I've got, and I'm doing one live right now that's in round 3. So I'll probably spend like another grand. I'm down this year in spending overall. That's going to do it, guys. Thank you so much, and we will talk to you later.